Well boys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see behind me, we have the Hawkeye, where the Honda has normally been for the past 2-3 weeks now. Tomorrow morning, we need to get this car sent off to a local sandblasting place. They're going to be blasting our wheel wells and our entire undercarriage so we can get that thing freshly Raptor liner, which is bed liner essentially. I want this car to be perfect. I tried doing this by hand, unfortunately was not giving the results I wanted. So another delay with the Honda build, unfortunately, but I really want this thing to be as perfect as humanly possible, and that is the best way to do it. But here we go. This is the first real car that has been on this lift. Obviously the Honda has been on here, but this thing is a complete bare chassis shell that weighs a couple hundred pounds. So this is the first actual running and driving car we're gonna be sending up. This car weighs so much, and I have no idea how. I swear my VA is lighter to push than this car. There we go, we have the car in the proper position. But if you guys are new here, this is my 07 STI build. Very simple, stock location turbo, running the BCP X500R and all of the fun bolt-ons. But let's go ahead and get this thing sent up here. Make sure it's still on all the jack points. I think there's something wrong with my lift. Seems like this lift does not have enough power, as you guys can hear, hopefully. I'm so confused. I hope you guys heard it before. It was like, And I will say, it is kind of a little scary being under here. Granted, the lift should never fail, but I mean, this would kill me. Now, the first thing I'm wanting to tackle while I'm under here is, I've driven this around the block, but there is a weird clinking noise coming from the rear of this car. Something suspension-wise, and it's driving me absolutely crazy. So the goal today, now that this is on our brand new lift here, try to find that noise. But there's also one more issue. Now, when I put this car together and I got my first startup, I was really excited because I saw no leaks. But if you guys can see here, right on the pan, there's a little bit of oil. Thankfully, this oil leak is very minor, but just extremely annoying. And where that leak is coming from is the dipstick tube to the pan. Now, I have absolutely zero leaks with the rest of the car, and for some reason, I always have oil leaks coming from that tube to the dipstick. My VASTI always had a small leak from that. I do not know what keeps happening. I keep busting these O-rings. So today we need to pull that out and hopefully fix it for the last and final time. Now, there is so much stuff I'm able to see under this car that is a different perspective than just being on jack stands, which is so cool. One thing I just saw right here, that boot should not be crinkled like that. If you see on the other side, it is perfect. So something's going on weird with our power steering rack. Hopefully we can get that fixed. I don't know exactly what's going on though. All right, let's try to figure out what is rattling down here. I think the best method here is going to be to shake everything until we hear a noise. But everything, oh. That's gotta be it. Looks like it is a 17. Also, now that I have a lift, I can actually use my tool cart and have my tools underneath the car with me. But for the meantime, let's go ahead and grab a 17. No wonder this thing was rattling. Look at this nut. And while we're under here, since we had all of this completely apart, it is probably a good idea to do a once through and make sure that everything else is tight as well. Damn, it's a 19. I guess it's a 22. What the f? What broke? Goodness. I guess I had absolutely everything loose. Looks like I was trying to kill somebody. Jesus. That one wasn't nearly as bad though. What do you guys think? Do you guys think these are also loose? Oh my. I think I found our noises. Well guys, don't be like me and do a once through and make sure your your shit's actually tight. Cause this is, that could have been bad. Don't worry, we're gonna go through and torque all of this as well. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh, you can't see because there's tension on it, but this is not tight either. Now, I know all of these knuckles are tight as I know I did a once through with this, but it does not hurt to verify your work. Yeah, that got torqued down. It's gotta go. That's quite annoying. Well, we just got back from Harbor Freight and O'Reilly's. Unfortunately, Harbor Freight does not have the big old oil drain in stock right now. They're a couple weeks back ordered. So unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna drain the oil in today's video, but tomorrow when we do our break-in motor video, we'll drain the oil after we put 50 miles on here. But for right now, let's go ahead and try to fix that leak. First things first, let's go ahead and clean up all of this oil. Ugh. Looks brand new again. But I guess before we can pull out the dipstick, we need to drop the car down. There is a little 10mm bolt that holds the dipstick into place. Without that removed, we're never gonna get that thing out. It's this little 10mm bolt right there. Are you kidding me, dude? Okay, we're heading this from the bottom. There we go. Okay. Well, you can see our problem here, our little busted O-ring. Sick. Now, normally I use a smaller O-ring because this Killer Bee, I think it requires just having a smaller O-ring. These ones were OEM. I am going to switch this out and put some smaller ones in. Thankfully, I have this nice Harbor Freight special, I think it was from Harbor Freight, that has a large assortment of O-rings. So we just need to open this up and figure out which one we want to run. There we go, we got one on. Got one for upper spot. There we go, both are on. Now that we have those placed on, we are going to grab some spare extra oil, lubricate these rings, so hopefully they don't break off. Okay, that should be it. Since we took this dipstick out, it dropped a little bit of oil. I'm gonna go ahead, spray all of that off, and we should be good to go. Hopefully no more oil leaks, or else I'm going to be very upset at myself. Now that we got all of that taken care of, we can admire all of these gorgeous parts that you never are able to see on this car. Now, if you guys are wanting to pick up any part for your build, just like I did not too long ago for this car, make sure to check out Rally Sport Direct and use code REMMYSTI. It is going to save you 10% on qualifying items. If you guys are using my code on Rally Sport Direct, make sure to let me know what you guys are buying. I'm curious to see what all of you guys are putting on your builds. Now that we got everything taken care of on this car, we can now get it on the ground and go for a little drive. Make sure that all of that rattling noise we were hearing earlier is all taken care of. It should be. I cannot believe I let these things be so loose, but we got that taken care of. We're gonna go for a little drive. I need to send Josh a log of just driving first through fourth and then send that over to him. Tomorrow in the next video, we are going to be doing a lot of driving in this car. I'll do like how to break in your motor video, and then after that, we'll see this thing on the dyno. Then soon, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled content with the Honda build as I'm trying to get this thing done. But now we can start this thing up. I do have to use my jump pack. I think I do need to buy a new battery. For some reason, after this battery sat for however many months this car was not running, it just could not hold a charge any longer, so I have to keep using my jump pack, which is kind of inconvenient, but I'll buy a new battery eventually. It sounds so good, but we now have to open up the shop door, push the Honda out so we are able to leave. Unfortunately, we're about to lose all of our warm air. But while we go ahead and let the Hawkeye warm up before we do our little 1 through 4 drive, we got to get the Honda pushed back into the shop, get it on the lift, and we're going to be putting it on this dolly instead of the Harbor Freight ones I have. The wheels are breaking, which is making this very hard to push. So thankfully, Devin is no longer using this one, at least for the time being. He said I can use it, which should make life a million times easier. Now, one thing I completely forgot to do while this car was up in the air, we'll have to tackle this tomorrow, is fix my steering wheel, as it is still quite crooked. Now let's go ahead and get our tuner the data logs he needs to get this thing done. So for starters, I believe he wants us to do a quarter throttle 1 through 4, all the way up to 4,000 RPMs. And then he wants a cruising log at like 35 miles an hour. So we'll go ahead and get this tackled out for him. It drives pretty damn nice how it is though. I mean, Josh has only tuned hundreds of cars, so he kind of knows what he's doing here, but yeah, this drives nice. It feels good to finally have like a fun car to drive around here. Goodness gracious. This suspension needs a little bit of tweaking, but can't complain. All right. We are approaching our first main road here. We'll do our 1 through 4 here for him. He has a limiter set at 3,500. We did kind of a shitty 1 through 4 there, but we're gonna do our 35 mile an hour cruising right now and then get this sent over to him as well. But I mean, I can't complain. This drive's pretty good. Let me roll up the window here. It feels good to be driving this car, I can't lie. Truthfully, this car has kind of like bored me recently. My main focus has really been on this Honda, as I'm most excited about that, but it's nice being in a Subaru again. Now, our suspension rattle is gone. There is one rattle, which I know what it is. I have a part coming in to fix that. But overall, this thing drives pretty damn nice. I need to fix that. Oh, it's annoying. We are at our first stoplight. We're gonna do another 1 through 4 for him here. Dude, 3,500 is so low. I keep hitting limiter here. Trying to tickle boost a little bit right here, but it's kind of impossible with this 3,500 RPM limiter. But in the next video, after I get these logs sent over to Josh, I think these brakes need a little bit more bleeding too. I have to kind of pump it twice before I'm able to really gain brake pressure. Get our downshifts, help break in this motor. This damn limiter. This car will soon be an absolute ripper on the streets. I'm hoping to make like 450 wheel. We're very limited by my injector size. I'm running ID 1050s just because I know myself, and if I had larger injectors, I would push the absolute crap out of the system, which is not really what I want. I just want a fun little street car. But here we go. We made it back to the shop. We put 2 miles on this, or 3 miles, and she's driving good. I cannot complain. Boys, I think that is going to wrap it up here. We got our first official drive done in the Hawkeye. Got all of those data logs ready to send over to Josh when I get home tonight. Hopefully by tomorrow, we can get some revisions if needed, and then we can get that limiter removed and break in this motor. And then soon enough here, we're going to have this Hawkeye on the road. We'll have the Honda, and then soon my VAST on the road. That's right, I'm bringing that car back to life soonish here, but I told myself I need to finish this Honda build first, which realistically, we're not looking at like too much more, even though you guys are probably looking at this like, it's gonna take you forever. In my mind, I say January this car will be done. And then after that, we're gonna have some fun cars to play with on the street. But I'll see you boys in the next one.